Hi, I'm Veronica Wasek with 5 Minute Bookkeeping. I empower virtual bookkeeping pros to become confident professionals and business owners. In this video, I'm going to show you what you need to know about PayPal. Does working with PayPal transactions just make you want to run away and hide? PayPal bookkeeping can be very complicated, and I definitely have struggled with understanding the ins and outs of how it works. I'm going to show you the essentials that you need to understand how PayPal works so that you can tackle your clients' PayPal transactions with more confidence. Let's get started. Let's start first defining what PayPal is. PayPal is a type of bank account, it's a payment processor, and it's a pain to do the bookkeeping. I'm sure you know. First of all, PayPal is a type of bank account. That's because PayPal has a balance. Transactions flow back and forth between PayPal and the bank account and the credit card account, and that really is what makes it more like a bank account. But PayPal is also a type of payment processor. It processes payments or income from various sales channels, a website, Shopify, other channels, and payments or income are also processed by PayPal and are deposited in the bank account net of PayPal fees. And PayPal is a pain. It's hard to understand how it works. It has confusing reports. There are a lot of timing differences from the time that you see a transaction processed in PayPal to the time that the amounts are deposited in QuickBooks. PayPal or the PayPal app also doesn't always bring in all of the data into QuickBooks, and it's hard to reconcile, especially for e-commerce transactions and high volume transactions. In order to also understand PayPal, you need to understand how PayPal can be used. You can make payments to vendors using the bank account or credit card accounts. You can also make payments to vendors using the PayPal balance. You can use PayPal to collect or receive customer payments. And you can also use PayPal to receive customer payments and make vendor payments. Let's go over some of the PayPal workflow basics, assuming that PayPal is connected to QuickBooks Online. In order to really be successful with working with PayPal transactions in the QuickBooks Online bank feed, you need to understand the workflow and you need to work in a particular order so that you can keep things organized and also avoid duplicating transactions. You're going to start with the PayPal bank feed. Then you're going to categorize expenses in the PayPal bank feed. You're going to add or match income transactions and fees deducted. Next, you will record transfers to the bank account or transfers from the credit card account. And then you will match transfers in the bank or credit card account bank feed. So let's go over some of that. You'll start with the PayPal bank feed. So from the bank feeds in QuickBooks Online, you'll select PayPal Bank. And of course, this is assuming that you have connected QuickBooks Online to the Connect to PayPal app. Next, you're going to categorize expenses. So as you can see here, we have a couple of expenses, and make sure that you assign the correct account category and then click Add. Same with this other transaction. It's for advertising. Click Add. Be careful that you don't categorize yet any withdrawals to the bank account. These are not expenses, they are transfers. Next, you're going to add or match income transactions and fees deducted. When you use the Connect to PayPal app in QuickBooks Online, and if you have online sales, the app will automatically calculate and categorize the fee for you. So as you can see here, we have a transaction for $45. PayPal deposited $43.39. There's a fee of $1.61, which PayPal will categorize for you. You have to be careful though here because you have to select the correct transaction type, whether it's a sales receipt or a deposit. And all of that depends on the specific income workflow. So perhaps you have income that you're receiving from PayPal that will need to be recorded as a sales receipt, or it may be a deposit. And it all depends on the type of business and how you would do that. Next, you will record transfers to the bank account. For this particular transaction, we have a transfer to the bank account. So it says withdrawal to bank account, it shows you the amount. Then we'll select record transfer. And for the transfer account, we will select the bank account. And then you'll click record transfer. You will also record transfers from the credit card account into PayPal. And we are still in the PayPal bank feed. And you'll see in the bank feed a description saying added funds from credit card. You will also record a transfer, and the transfer account is the credit card account. And then select record transfer. So after you enter those transactions in the PayPal bank feed, you will want to go to the bank account bank feed and match the transaction. And this is really important because most people make a mistake. They go into the bank account bank feed and add the transaction instead of matching the transaction. And what happens is that you duplicate the transaction. So make sure that after you add the transfer in the PayPal bank feed, then you go to the bank account bank feed, find that transaction, find that match, and then click match. You sometimes will not see it match because the dates will be different. And there's a way in QuickBooks Online in the bank feed to edit the date. So you should do that, make sure it has the same date, and then it should match. But the takeaway here is to make sure that you match and you don't add, because if you add it, you will be duplicating the transaction. And then you'll do the same. You'll match transfers in the credit card account bank feed. So from the credit card account bank feed, we will find the matching transaction. And you'll notice that QuickBooks automatically match that. And again, if the date is not the same or doesn't agree, then you'll have to change that for it to match. So again, we're looking to match the transaction in the credit card account bank feed and not add it. If you categorize the transactions correctly and then look at an account detail of the PayPal account, which should be set up as a bank account in QuickBooks Online, then you will see various transactions such as expenses. As all of the transactions in this orange are the expenses that were added from the PayPal bank feed. Then you'll see these transactions that are transfers from the bank feed. So all of the ones that are white are transfers from the bank feed. And then you'll also see income transactions recorded. In this case, they were entered as deposits. Let's go over preferred PayPal settings. In order to really streamline how PayPal is set up for making your bookkeeping a whole lot easier and simpler, there are certain settings that should be set up in PayPal to make the process simpler. First of all, you want to set up the default payment to either be from a credit card or bank balance and not the PayPal balance. If you have any expenses that are paid directly from the PayPal balance, it makes the bookkeeping so much more complicated. So make sure that you tell your client to use that as a default payment. You also want to set up the auto transfer to basically transfer the balance in PayPal to the bank account every day. Now, this would apply to clients that are actually receiving income into PayPal. And so it makes it a lot easier for them just to get their money sent to their bank account every day directly from PayPal and not have to remember that they have to transfer funds. Use the Connect to PayPal app, as I mentioned before, if connecting PayPal to QuickBooks Online. Use separate PayPal accounts for paying expenses and for receiving income. And this is so important. This is actually a requirement that I have for the clients that I work with, and I work with a lot of e-commerce clients who actively use PayPal in their business. And so if they're using PayPal to receive income from their various sales channels, and they also want to pay expenses through PayPal, then I ask them and actually require that they set up separate PayPal accounts, one for expenses and one for income, so that it can make the bookkeeping a lot simpler. And lastly, I also ask clients to set up separate PayPal accounts for each sales channel. Now, this is a bit more advanced and it does apply to e-commerce, but if they're selling through different sales channels, maybe their website and then Shopify, if you use one PayPal account, you won't know which sales go with which sales channel, which can make things very complicated. So if they have separate sales channels, they're selling through separate platforms, as I said, through maybe their website, maybe Shopify, then make sure that they set up a separate PayPal account for each sales channel. And here's an example of how you can set up the PayPal settings. In PayPal, go to Account Settings and then select Money, Banks, and Cards. And then you can change here the preferred way to pay, expenses, and so make sure that it's not clicked to PayPal balance and that is clicked to either pay expenses from the bank account or the credit card. And then within those same settings, look for automatic transfers and click manage, and that's where you can turn on the setting to transfer funds on a daily basis from PayPal to the bank account. And let's go quickly over PayPal reports and where you can find those. From PayPal, to run the monthly reports that you will need, go to Activity and select All Reports. Once you do that, you'll see a dialog on the left. Select Monthly and then select the month that you're looking to run and just click Download. This will download a PDF file showing you all of the activity for the month. So you'll see that in a summarized version on the first page, and then you'll see all of the details in the subsequent pages. One of the reports that I like is actually the activity download because it will download a CSV file that I can then use and open it up in Excel and do some calculations. So just select activity download, select the month that you're looking to work with, click create report, and wait for the report to process, and then click download. And then you'll get a CSV file. As I said, you can open it up in Excel and then you'll see all of the details of every sale and every transaction that was made. So sales and expenses and transfers. And then you'll see the gross amount, any fees, and the net amount. I hope that this gave you a better understanding of how PayPal works so that when you tackle that next cleanup or monthly bookkeeping for your clients, you'll have a better understanding of how to work with PayPal. I know it's complicated and I know that I gave you a very short version of what you need to know, but at least this will help you to start understanding more of the transactions, so as you work with them, you'll have a better idea of what to do with them. I'm Veronica Wasek with 5-Minute Bookkeeping. Check the description below for my free Virtual Bookkeepers Toolbox with lots of resources to jumpstart your virtual bookkeeping business. And look for the links to join my Facebook community and other resources, including my online academy for virtual bookkeepers. If this content is helping you, then subscribe, ring the bell, and give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if there are other topics that you'd like me to cover in the future. I'm here to help you. I'm Veronica Wasek, and I'll see you next time.